Now I request Honorable Sri Justice Dilip Bhosle, Acting Chief Justice.
Justice Gopal Gauraji, Judge, Supreme Court of India, my esteemed colleague, Honorable Mr. Justice Sitaram Murthy, my former colleague, Honorable Mr. Justice Nagmohan Das, former Judge, the High Court of Karnataka, Shri G. Vidyasagar, President of All India Bar Union Telangana State Committee, Mr. Police Satyanarayana, General Secretary of the Union, other office bearers, dignitaries on the dais, lawyers coming from different parts of the state, ladies and gentlemen. I am extremely happy to be invited to address the gathering on the topic challenges before legal profession, and I must express my deep sense of gratitude to the organizers for giving me this opportunity to meet you all on this great occasion, and also to express my views on the subject. I hope the discussion that takes place from this platform will certainly shed different light on the topic that is so vital to our institution in the present scenario. As a member of the bench, I am obviously glad to observe such initiative being promoted for the welfare and development of young members of the bar who are going to shape the future of legal profession, legal practice, significantly influence the effective and efficient functioning of the court. I would like to divide this particular topic into two parts, and I am going to divide this into two parts for simple reason that the speakers before me, in particular Brother Nagmohan Das and President Mr. Vikas Ranjan Bhattacharya have covered a lot of portion which I wanted to cover. I am going to divide this particular topic into two parts like this. One, conventional practice as a lawyer which perhaps you all are into, and what are the challenges one may have to face while being in the conventional practice. And number two, whether the legal profession is at the verge of changing its face complexion in India in the era of globalization. First topic perhaps is almost covered. If time permits, I will also diverge on that subject, but definitely I would like to first take the second part of the subject first. Though the changing face of legal profession in the era of globalization may not have direct effect or impact on the conventional practice you all are in, I deem it appropriate to say a few words about it for information of the young lawyers and also as a note of caution to the professionals, particularly absolutely new entrants in the profession, what challenges, what changes they are likely to face in near future. To address the second question, I would like to pose few questions for your consideration. First, whether the legal profession in India is at the verge of changing its face complexion in the era of globalization. My answer to this question is yes. Next question is whether we are all aware about the new trends emerging in the legal profession and whether we are ready to face the changes and thereby challenges. My answer to this question is no. Next question is whether legal profession in the era of globalization is going to be different from the conventional practice that the present and past generations have been doing. My answer to this question is yes. Next question is whether we are equipped to face the changes or getting ready to meet the challenges in future. My answer is no. Whether foreign law firms are trying to encroach upon the legal market in India, my answer is yes. Whether we can stop their entry, my answer is no. There is no point in only posing questions and answering yes and no. I can pose similar at least 1 dozen more questions for your consideration, but since the time is short, I would not like to diverge on every or expand every particular question which I pose for your consideration, because we are all eager to hear Honorable Mr. Justice Gopal Gauraji, who is considered as one of the best orators in India. So I will try to keep as short as possible. But when I pose the questions, I don't know how many of you are in a position to answer those questions, though I said in short yes or no. We don't know where this profession is exactly going. That reminds me one anecdote. Once an absent-minded professor was traveling in a train. He was quietly sitting in his compartment and he saw the ticket checker enter the compartment. The moment he saw the ticket checker, he started searching his ticket in his pockets and belongings. He was not getting it. Ticket checker also observed him from distance, and when he approached his professor, he told the professor, "Sir, I know you. I am your student. I know that you will never ever travel without ticket. If you are not getting your ticket, please don't bother." With equal politeness, that professor said, "My dear, I am not searching this ticket for you. I am searching this ticket for myself because I don't know where I am going." This anecdote I am telling you to realize one thing, that where we are going, we don't know. What is the future of this profession? What are the changes emerging at the national and international level, which perhaps with the passage of time may percolate and reach Khammam also, and maybe even remote places in Khammam. So what are those challenges? Then first question that I posed was whether the legal profession in India is at the verge of changing its complexion in the era of globalization. I said yes. Whether we are aware, what are those changes? I said no. This is a fact. It is not possible to say everything on this every question, because every question will perhaps require a long time or different sessions. But when I pose this question, for example, I will tell you what is happening exactly now at international level and also at national level. Now, whatever new trends, whether it is legal profession or medical profession or any other profession for that matter, and even business, whatever new trends emerge in developed countries, they slowly percolate to India or countries like India, which are developing countries. And when they reach India, they first emerge in the cities like Delhi and Mumbai, or maybe other metro cities. And then they slowly reach interior parts of every state. So what are those changes? When we look at those changes, we find that the main change is, before I tell you that, let me tell you when I realized this and when I came to know what are the changes at national and international level. As a member of the All India Bar Council, I had two occasions to attend two international conferences. One was Commonwealth Lawyers Conference at Malaysia, and other was All India International Bar Association Conference at Amsterdam. In both these conferences, for the first time, I came to know what is litigation and what is non-litigation. What is litigation and what is non-litigation? I remember I was interacting with one lawyer from Australia. I just asked him, what side do you practice? My question was absolutely innocent because I was practicing on the appellate side in Bombay High Court. I thought that their courts also must be having appellate side, original side, all that. So therefore I asked, which side do you practice? He said, what do you mean? Then I said that, which side means an appellate side or original side? He said, what does it mean exactly? He could not answer on that. Then I explained him what practice I was into. Then he said that, oh, you are talking about your personal practice. Yes, but we don't have any individual practice. We all practice through our firms. We are all partners of the firms. And we have 100, 200, 300 partners in our firms, and our firms are into practice and we get work. I said that, what about you personally? He said that I am in non-lit. Non-lit, I did not understand immediately. I said, I'm sorry, can you explain me what is non-lit? Then he said non-litigation. For the first time in 1998, I came to know the expression non-litigation. What is that non-litigation? I asked him. Then he started explaining me and he told me so many things about it. This non-litigation and litigation, there is a vertical division in Western countries. And in some countries, including I can say, if I am not wrong, in USA, The division of the lawyers is almost 50-50%. 50% of the lawyers are only in non-litigation and 50% lawyers are in litigation. Litigation means you all. Now out of you all, if I ask how many of you are in non-litigation, perhaps hardly 5-10% or maybe 20-25% will raise their hands. So the percentage of lawyers in non-litigation is absolutely negligible. Why the percentage of lawyers in non-litigation is increasing in those countries? The reason, there are several reasons. There are several areas one can get into non-litigation. It is not only one area, but there are several. But the reason why this non-litigation practice is growing in those countries and slowly that is happening in a place like Delhi and Bombay also. The reason is the litigants or the people are becoming conscious of their rights. They know the law, they are trying to understand the laws, and then to avoid litigation, they go to the lawyers and law firms. And not when the litigation, they get into litigation. Now as far as practice which you all are doing, or which even I did, everybody approached me when you are already in litigation. Nobody ever approached me to avoid litigation. Now what is avoiding litigation and what is how this non-litigation is growing slowly in the cities like Mumbai, Delhi. Now person sitting at Khammam, if he wants to get into non-litigation, he can handle work of the client in Delhi, of the client in Mumbai, of the client in Bangalore, of the client in USA, and of the client in Paris. Only he should know how to get that work. Another area which even person sitting at Khammam can also practice is legal outsourcing. There are firms in Mumbai which are into this non-litigation. I can give you example of one firm which is not only non-litigation but which is only in this outsourcing, legal outsourcing. That firm is in Andheri. That firm has about 50 partners. 10 partners and 50 associates who are working with them day and night. That firm work in two shifts. Why in two shifts? Because when we sleep, some countries in some Western countries work. There is a day and they work. So therefore they work in two shifts. Some firms are there in Mumbai which work in 3 shifts. And only they do work on computer. Person in USA doesn't know where he is sitting in India. If person is sitting in Andheri, in Mumbai, can do some work for some law, some firm in foreign country, why can't advocate in Khammam can't do that? He can do that also. I'm not asking you to get into this immediately because senior advocates should not even think of this. But absolutely young lawyers, if they want to get into on the internet, every information is available. Internet is a miracle, is a magic. Just go to internet and you can get everything that you want in the world. Try to find out what is this non-litigation practice is and how to get into that practice. See, every lawyer may or may not be interested in getting into court practice or litigation. And particularly women lawyers in Mumbai, in large number, they are in foreign practice. They do not come to court. I am not against litigation. Litigation practice will continue as long as humanity is there on this earth. It is always said human nature is human nature and it will continue to be human nature as long as human nature is human nature. So as long as human nature is there, there will be fights. People will go to the court, they will fight the litigation in the court and wait for the result. Let me tell you one more actual story that happened in Bombay High Court when I was there. It was in 2001. The Honorable Mr. Justice B.P. Singh, as he then was, our Chief Justice, he had invited one Canadian judge's delegation to Bombay High Court to just meet all of us. The Canadian judge's delegation came to our High Court on lunch table in the afternoon. There is a practice in Bombay High Court to meet all judges on lunch table every day. So 6-7 judges delegation, they came on the lunch table. It was led by their Chief Justice, Lady Chief Justice, and a lot of interaction took place between them and us. I guess has made it imperative to have perception of alternative dispute resolution modes. Unfortunately, lawyers community at large in this country, not only I can say even some district places like Khammam and places like Hyderabad also, lawyers are not ready to accept this alternative dispute resolution mode. But let me tell you, in foreign countries, when I said that 50% of the lawyers, but the lawyers who are in litigation, out of them, 80% lawyers are in ADR practice. Lawyers are making career as a mediators. Lawyers are making career as a arbitrators, as a conciliators. There are different modes of dispute resolution modes. And lawyers are getting into that. And for your information, earning of those lawyers is more than those lawyers who are in litigation. These facts and figures, I would have given you everything, but time is running against us. I brought everything, in fact, to show you. But this is a fact. This is a fact. And don't think that I am exaggerating anything. You can make career. Now, what is happening in Mumbai, what is happening in Karnataka, perhaps Honorable Mr. Justice Gopal Gauraji will be in a better position because he is also responsible for that. In Karnataka, perhaps the best results people are getting through mediation. 65-70% cases are getting resolved through mediation. As against that, till I took over, when I took over, I just inquired hardly few, not even more than 100 or 200 cases were resolved through mediation. Most of the judges in the subordinate courts were not even aware about this mediation process. Lawyers were not ready to accept it at all. But the things are changing. During last 8 months, we conducted 10 mediation training programs. Now we have about 300 mediators, trained mediators in both the states. Not only advocate mediators, but even judges mediators we have now. 60 judges mediators we have. And I am really proud to say this. You all have in common 5 judge mediators as of today. They have taken 40 hours training imparted by mediation project committee, the New Delhi Supreme Court. Trainers came from there. They trained these mediators. 40 hours training they have undergone. Now what? Challenge when we talk of pendency. We cannot reduce pendency overnight. When we look at the ratio of judges to population, in India it is very low. It is not even 14, 15 per million. 10 lakhs. As against in Western countries, where the ratio of judges to population is 80, 90. Just imagine where we are. Is it possible for us to increase the number of judges overnight? Whether we have that infrastructure, whether we have that capacity, answer is no. Then what, as a lawyers community, whether we owe something to the society or not? Are we going to look at the legal profession only as a money-making machine? If you say yes, we are committing wrong. Then we will invite anarchy in this country one day. And the moment people lose faith in this institution, I don't know what is going to happen. So let us rise to the occasion at this time. I am very happy that ILO has organized such conference, and that too on the subject. Perhaps when the subject was raised, what is new? But new things are there. Which new things are emerging? What are those new things? This conference, one conference may not be sufficient. You will have to organize one conference only on these new trends in the profession. There are good experts in Mumbai, Delhi. You can invite them, call them. They will give you all the details. They will furnish entire data to you. How to get into this, how to get into that. See, every lawyer may or may not like to practice only standing in the court, where the court ban and go and argue the cases. Some lawyers can get into. Number of lawyers today, when we look at in this country, is something, perhaps the entire world is on one side and we are on the other side. If I am not wrong, Mr. Narasimha Reddy may correct me, we have more than 10 lakhs of lawyers in this country. if we have paid more than 10 lakhs of lawyers, now I don't know what is the position in this state, but I can tell you something on the basis of my experience in Mumbai and also in Karnataka to some extent. In Mobilcil, I sometimes see a very talented young lawyers having good knowledge of computer and everything. They cannot practice at place like Bangalore or Mumbai because they cannot afford it. I came across one lawyer at district place Sangli in Maharashtra. He heard me once saying something about constitution. He came to me and he politely said, "Sir, I am already equipped. I am doing lot of work for one firm in Delhi." I said, "Have you ever been to Delhi?" He said, "No, I am